Hello everybody. Welcome back to day 14, Final Fantasy 14 New Game Plus, or day 2 of Heavensward. Decided to take a little bit of a mental breather yesterday. Just didn't sleep great the last 2 nights, but actually got a good night's sleep last night for once. So just had to take a wee old mental break. But we're here, we're back, pushing on. Apparently we're at war with dragons. We want to kill them all. Let's get back to it, shall we? Make sure I got everything good to go. Don't need you. We think we're good. And yesterday, well, last stream, walked into heaven, walked into this place, Ishgard, got welcomed by House for Tom, thanks to our BFF FF14. And then, no sooner did we step foot inside a city that we were branded as heretics. So we had to fight 2 people of the Heavensward to prove our innocence via trial by combat, which we won pretty easily. Thanks high level 520 gear for carrying. Then went and rescued Ralban. And then called into question whether or not the Sultana was actually executed or poisoned. And given Ilbert's response, we might be right. And then, well, we thought we were right. And then another one of the syndicate members came out and said, yeah, you're right. We found out Teleji was actually going to take out the Sultana. Lolorito intervened, but she's in a coma right now, and she's not going to wake up anytime soon. So, and they're keeping everything on a down low, so that way riots don't break out in the city. If it was to be found out that A, the Sultana is air quotes dead, and secondly, they haven't officially charged us because they're like, well, if we charge the Scions of the Seventh Dawn with this, people ain't going to take that too well. So we're pseudo in the clear. In Ul'dah, not really. But Ralban's back. He's with his adopted son Pippin. We're going to try and wrestle back control, get some order back into Ul'dah. Meanwhile, we got some dragons to find and kill, apparently. Hold down X to click through this bunny. Ah, there you are. Sorry for cutting your reunion with Dronor Ralban short. I wouldn't have bothered you, but the city's awash with rumors of another Dravanian attack, and Lord Harshaphant was desperate to get a hold of you. Speaking of whom, he and the others are waiting for you inside, so you better head in. Alright. We have to be shown in. Here's where we left off at. News of an impending attack. Ah, my friend, I thank you for answering our call with such alacrity. As I am sure you are now aware, the Dravanians are once more gathering for war. Master Drac, Master Levier, I must apologize for this abrupt summons, but we thought it best to have Mistress Tataru contact you by the most direct means possible. When the Observatorium's bells toll, 'tis a warning that cannot be ignored. The Holy See has ordered that we make ready for battle. In case you haven't heard, a band of trappers returning from the west claimed they saw a cloud of dragons big enough to dim the midday sky. Nidhogg minions, gather once more for war. But I would not have you take up arms in another of our conflicts. When first you came to Ishgard, I offered you my protection. If I cannot ensure your safety here, I cannot will accept your aid, much less ask for it. Scions of the Seventh Dawn, you are faced with a choice: to remain amid the besieged Ishgard or seek sanctuary elsewhere. I would not presume to influence your decision, but I must ask that you make it swiftly, lest our enemies force your hand. Though we flee to the ends of the world, 'twould seem that no place in this troubled age is free of strife. Once more the horde descends upon Ishgard, and once more her weary defenders must take up spear and bow. The Count would have us seek some shelter with the storm, but I, for one, grow tired of running. If we are to shine the light of dawn, we must do so in the sight of our fellow men, not hunkered in a hole. What say you, Linkus? I'm a dragoon. Killing dragons is my thing. Then fight we shall. Let it never be said that we abandon our allies in their hour of need. The choice we make this day may have grave implications for our order. It is only right that the Taru should have a say. Come, let us all meet outside and discuss the path that lies before us. Sounds like we got a world fate up. So, once again, I'm asking for your patience. We got a formidable up, and we going to go fight it. Gives me a chance to turn on instance cutscenes real quick. Oh, I'm in New Game Plus and the lights back. That's interesting. You won't be near. That was a little too close. Well, only HP that matters is 0, so. Alright. Back. So that was formidable, a world boss. I think he has a 72-hour respawn, so around this time, Wednesday or Thursday? Thursday, if I do math right.
Ishgard cannot well endure another assault. Even should her knights succeed in turning back the Horde, the casualties will be catastrophic.
So, it actually worked out perfectly. Those two debated with each other. We went off to fight a world boss, come back. They have their,
But what other choice do we have? It's not like we can talk it over with them. Dragons and men aren't exactly on speaking terms.
With certain notable exceptions.
Are you talking about me and Midgard-Sormer?
You don't mean Iceheart?
When last you spoke with her, she lamented her crimes, did she not?
Yeah.
Then there remains a sliver of hope. If we can persuade Iceheart to act as our intermediary, we may yet be able to convince Nidhogg to abandon his bloody course.
If there is to be a meeting, I would accompany you.
Estinian.
Even with your intermediary, Nidhogg's blood rage may render him deaf to reason. However, the mere attempt may afford our forces precious time to prepare. Of course, you might also consider a more direct approach to ending this conflict. With the power of the Eye at my disposal, and the vaunted strength of the Warrior of Light, we could conceivably slay the beast outright.
If we are to risk a face-to-face meeting with the Dread Worm, I for one would feel safer in the company of the Azure Dragoon. However, I should only turn to your lance if my words failed to find their mark. Is that clear?
Perfectly. I shall assume that Iceheart enjoys similar diplomatic protection until instructed otherwise. A word of advice. Think carefully before divulging the particulars of this plan to Sir Emmerich. 'Twould not do to have the Lord Commander accused of consorting with heretics.
Good point.
Indeed. I thank you for your counsel, Estinian. We shall be honored to have you with us.
I am glad to be of service.
We have chosen a difficult road, yet even should we succeed in winning Iceheart to our cause, our plans for parley will swiftly come to naught should the Holy See decide to strike first against the Horde. We must petition the Lord Commander's aid ere we set forth. I only hope that Sir Emmerich will be willing to muzzle Ishgard's forces on the strength of our vague assurances. Taru, I would ask that you remain at Fort Tom Manor and inform our Count of our decision. Tell him that the Scions of the Seventh Dawn mean to do all in their power to ensure that Ishgard and her people survive. Yes, sir! Off to Forgotten Night. You would speak with the Lord Commander. Pray make it quick.
I want the defenses of the outer ward rechecked. See to it that the ballistas are in good repair and supplied with enough ammunition for a prolonged siege.
At once, my lord.
Ah, 'twould seem I have visitors. And unlike those messing beyond our walls, these ones are welcome.
Pray forgive us for interrupting you in the midst of your preparations, Sir Emmerich, but our suit concerns the impending assault. To speak plain, we believe there is a chance the invasion might be halted before it even begins. I can divulge little more at this time, but I must nevertheless request that you advise the Holy See to refrain from launching any preemptive sorties whilst we seek to put our plans in motion.
I will gladly lend my support to any endeavor that could spare the blood of my countrymen, but I would know more of the cause you would have me champion. Will you not share aught of this mysterious undertaking?
Know that I have offered my lance to aid in this endeavor. I cannot claim that its success is assured, but our actions should serve to delay Nidhogg's advance at the very least. Which is more than can be said for the ill-conceived counterattack advocated by the sea's more vocal crusaders. They offer glorious death, but little hope of victory.
Aye, their proposal does not inspire confidence. Our resources should rightly be spent shoring up the city's defenses. The Azure Dragoon and the Warrior of Light sallying forth together to face the dread worm Nidhogg.
2 Azure Dragoons, technically.
I must admit the mere thought of it does much to dispel my misgivings. Go then. Carry out your plan. I shall do what I can for you within the Holy See.
Having secured Sir Emmerich's support, we may proceed without fear of a preemptive Ishgardian attack, which is not to say we can afford to dither. History tells us that the Dravanians will attack as soon as their horde reaches a critical size. Before that happens, we must needs track down and win over the Lady Iceheart, and then locate and parley with Nidhogg. In short, time is against us. If you are ready, Estinian, let us be about our task. What is this meeting?
Such commotion.
Yes, Your Eminence. The bells of the Observatorium warn of our enemy's approach.
So, the dragons are coming. Let them come, in their hundreds and their thousands. With the divine blade in our hands, we shall rend their flesh and drown the heretics in their master's blood. Even Nidhogg and his foul brood shall be powerless to resist us. And when we have rid the world of their pestilence, we shall turn our attention to our Ascian allies. See that they are suitably rewarded for their invaluable assistance.
If I may, Your Eminence, the Paragons wield powers strange and unknowable. Can we be certain that they will not see through our deception?
We can be certain of naught save the righteousness of our cause. If you would be a true leader of men, you must possess conviction as well as caution. We seek to excise the root of an evil that has blighted us for 1,000 years. The risk is worth the reward.
And what of Estinian and this Warrior of Light? They have plans of their own.
Leave them to their purpose. We must each play the role we have been given. You and your chosen brothers most of all.
For the glory of King Thordan.
Nice little foreshadowing. Before we set forth, we must needs inform Tataru of our plans. And I shall await you at St. Reynard's Ford. Tell your friend we may be some time. The road you have chosen is neither short nor easy. Of that I need no reminding. Come, Linkus, let us head back to Forton Manor. I don't know if I can get my voice deep enough for Estinian. Our course is set, Tataru. It may be some time before Lincolnus and I return to Ishgard. Yeah, we're gonna go find Iceheart and talk to Nidhogg and probably, most definitely not stop this war. Well, just you be careful, alright? Oh, and don't worry about me. I'll be busy listening out for news of our lost friends. If anyone can find them, it is you, Tataru. Farewell, for now. Oh, before you go, you must put this on, Alphino. I made it specially. No, I couldn't possibly. Oh, very well. Yay, he actually has pants. By the 12, it fits perfectly, and the quality is actually rather good. I'm glad you like it. I've been practicing my needlework while I listen to rumors and the like. A good receptionist is always learning new skills. My thanks, Tataru. Whatever else awaits me upon the road, I shall not fear the cold. 'Twas the least I could do. Now, I must be getting back to the tavern, or I'll never catch up with all the gossip. Best of luck in your journey. Down there. You have said your farewells then. Aye, we are ready to depart. I suggest we begin our search for Lady Iceheart without delay. Very well. She will prove an elusive quarry. Where do you intend to start looking? In the absence of any fresh intelligence on the Ysael's movements, I propose we pick up the trail where she was encountered lost, the Kurthis Western Highlands. Let us speak with Sir Redwald, was it? As the commander of Falcon's Nest, it is like that he will know if any heretic activity has been reported in the area. I go figure you can't port there. It'd be too easy. Well, Master Drak, what business brings you back to Falcon's Nest? Judging by the company you need, it could be no trifling matter. You're a dragoon, I know, of course, but I do not believe I've met this young gentleman. Alphonse Levier, at your service, and you are not mistaken as to the gravity of our mission, Sir Redwald. As I am sure you are aware, the Observatorium has warned that the Dravanians gather for another assault. We believe that there may yet be a way to avert the coming conflict, but only if we can find the elusive Lady Iceheart. Thus we have come to Falcon's Nest in the hopes of acquiring the latest intelligence on the heretics' movements. You see, you would best be served by speaking directly to my men. The patrol is due to return from its sweep of the surrounding lands at any moment. You may also wish to question the knights assigned to pick over the remains of the heretic refuge at Gorgane Mills. It is possible they may have unearthed information that could be of use to you. Master Drak knows the place, as I speak of, for it was he who first discovered it. Let us divide our forces then. I will stay and await the return of the patrol while the two of you visit this refuge. When I have completed my inquiries, I will join you there. I can't do a Stygian's voice. A wise use of our time. Come, Lycus. I am eager to learn what Sir Redwald's men have found in the heretic's lair. Fog. Never not fog. I swear. I love the music change from AR to Heaven's Word, where music constantly plays in the zone, no matter what. Well, Master Drak, our findings, you say? Well, there is something of a tale there. No sooner had we chanced upon a promising-looking sheaf of letters, we were ambushed from the shadows by a great white beast. It would seem the heretics foresaw our coming and left behind their pets to discourage further investigation. Several of our number were badly wounded. And you cannot carry out your duties until the creatures are slain. We have not the time to wait for reinforcements. Let us deal with these pets ourselves, Lycus. A bear? Alpha knows first taste of actual combat. Anything different? Yeah, the beasts are slain then. My thanks, Master Drac. We may return to our duty without fear of mauling. Just to track down Lady Iceheart, is that not so? Records we discovered ere those beasts mauled my comrades appear to be some manner of correspondence. We had not the luxury of pursuing their contents more closely, intent as we were on surviving the onslaught of Fang and Claw. I wager those epistles contain more than friendly salutations betwixt lonely heretics. My interrogation of the patrol proved fruitless. Either we divine some clue from these letters, or we wander the snowfields and pray that the gods lead us right to Iceheart's door. 'Tis hardly a choice at all. What was the word? Epistle? Fancy way of saying letter. I have a feeling there's one upstairs. Sure is. Walked right past it. We recovered much of the heretic's correspondence. 3 letters. Splendid! Added to the contributions from Master Levier and Sir Estinian, now more than a dozen letters. What have we here then? Every one of these pages is a record of the dealings betwixt the Gorgane Mills heretics and their followers in the Ak-Afa amphitheater. Requests for foodstuffs, clothing, and all manner of provisions. Iceheart's followers must yet inhabit the ruins we had thought abandoned. The Ak-Afa amphitheater, the very place where you witnessed the manifestation of the primal Shiva, was it not? If that is our destination, the journey will be long indeed. The amphitheater lies on the other side of a treacherous tract of ice and snow that cannot swiftly be crossed. We must place our faith in the Ethernet. As you may recall, our dear friend Moonbrita succeeded in recreating the Afa beacon after it had been destroyed by Lady Iceheart. At the time, it was assumed that the resultant aetherite would only be temporarily viable, but given that the heretics of Gorgane Mill seem to have been in regular contact with their brethren at the amphitheater, I'll wager it still functions. I suggest we make for the aetherite within Snowcloak without delay. Correct me if I'm wrong, Estinian, but in the course of mapping the Snowcloak tunnel system, a passage was discovered leading out into the western highlands, was it not? Might it be possible for us to reach the aetherite from this side of the wall? It should. House Durandare posted soldiers at the Western Highlands entrance after the tunnels were cleared, but they will not deny us entry. Found the burb in the house. Glitched through the house, probably. way down here, huh? Sky fishing. Ah, the guests of House for Tom, accompanied by the Azure Dragoon, no less. We cannot imagine what brought you out this far. You are welcome to enter the tunnels if that is your will. Assuming the Akafa beacon still functions, we must pray to the 12 it does. We shall arrive at our destination in mere moments. Though I do not expect to be greeted by the primal Shiva, we should nevertheless be prepared for a frosty reception. The heretics are not like to rejoice at the appearance of uninvited guests, particularly ones with our history. This music. An impressive structure. I wonder how many ages it has endured. Mayhap you should ask its occupants. They seem a friendly bunch. Dogs of Ishgard, is it not enough that you banish our beloved saint? Will you not be satisfied until the ice is slick with the last drops of our blood? Stay your weapons! We come under the flag of parley. We wish only to speak with your mistress, that we might broker a peace. You think us fools, boy? It'll take more than 100 words to earn our trust. You walk with the Dragon Slayer. We know all too well what he is capable of. My reputation precedes me. They give us little choice. Come, brothers! May dragon wings bear us to victory. Not defile the second place a second time. No, wait, we did not come here to fight. Waste no more words. They are deaf to reason.
Your guard is down.
Partake of the blood of dragons. 7 hells. Dragon blood truly brings about such a transformation. Obviously it can. Behold the true power of our faith.
Focus.
Well.
Release!
At last, I might sink my lance into.
Know your folly.
They fight like demons. 'Tis death to remain. Fall back, brothers! Retreat to the cinders! I see no sign of Lady Iceheart. Would that we could have questioned one of them. Would you ask that we do not already know? Make for the cinders, and so must we. Even should an ambush await us, 'tis certain there will be more heretics to question. The cinders, you say? I confess the name is unknown to me. Mayhap you would be so good as to enlighten us, Scythian. I suspect it is the heretics' way of referring to the Dreaming Dragon, an island of sorts found in the midst of the frozen lake of Ashpool. Some 500 years past, 'tis told that the Azure Dragoon of the age fought a dragon of titanic proportions. After a savage struggle, the mighty creature was weakened to the point of death, and forced into a magic slumber by an entire chapter of the Holy See sorcerers. Ere long, a rain of ash and cinders did begin to fall upon the sleeping serpent's motionless form, covering the creature at length in a shroud of grey. Of course, a thick layer of ice has since formed on top of it, but you may be sure I speak true. A fascinating tale. We should make haste to this Ashen Isle. A dreaming dragon lies far to the west. Before we approach the frozen beast, however, there's another place I would visit first. I am told the convictors have set up camp in Twin Pools. Their leader, Gentilo, may have information of use to us. But mayhap you are not familiar with that name either. The convictors are dragon slayers, after a fashion, but I am willing to wager that they encounter their fair share of heretics. If we are indeed walking into a trap, I would learn all there is to know of our foe. A sound suggestion. Let us speak to these convictors then, and temper our haste with a measure of caution. Not this game, one up further. Well, well, what do we have here? Hoping to join the esteemed ranks of the convictors, are we? A hard-eyed lad looks promising. You have a fair look about you, boy. I give you 3 days ere the wilds claim your corpse. I beg your pardon. Be not so quick to judge. I have seen this frail youth fell heretics with a flick of his wrist. And who are you to question my... By the Fury! That armor, that lance! Your dragoon himself graces our camp. Pray forgive my disrespect, sir. I am Gentilo, leader of the convictors, and fellow slayer of dragons. May I ask what winds, fair or foul, carry you to our humble camp? Well, we're looking for Iceheart, and there's an isle somewhere that way. You know of anything about it? Ah, Lady Iceheart, is it? Ah, I know her by reputation. I'm afraid I've seen naught of her and her people. As said, my own men can be somewhat lax when it comes to making reports. You may wish to question them yourselves. Thank you. We shall. Linkus, Estinian, let us make our way through the camp and see what information there is to be had. Alfie speaks with an English voice, but not that English voice. Surely one of these people have encountered heretics without hunting. Pray speak with as many as you can, Lycus. Nah, no heretics. You don't actually expect me to keep track of every Rathnael, Veramont, and Bernadette that wanders in and out of our camp. There ain't heretics in the area. I have not the faintest idea. A heretic can pass under my very nose, and I should be none the wiser. I hunt dragons, my dear fellow, the big ones. Forever do I scan the skies for signs of my prey. I care not for the miserable creatures that scurry upon the ground. Probably not something you should admit freely. Looking for heretics, you say? Why don't you go bother Pirquet or someone? Pirquet. I'm in enough trouble keeping these preening tops fed and clothed as it is. There's no business of mine what folk do with themselves out in the wilds. Pirquet. Something I can help you with, my lord. Heretics, is it? I've never seen one myself. That ain't to say I haven't seen or heard a thing or two. We'd be grateful for any information you can share with us. The gods know we've gleaned precious little from talking with the rest of these people. If it please, my lord, I am Pirquet, a soldier by trade, though not much of one, if I'm honest. It went for the love of stabbing folk that I took up the spear, see? No, it was by order of Georgette's father. Still, as long as they keep paying me wages, I ain't fussy about what they have me do. Not everyone's as patient as me, though. Plenty of low-born lads who get pressed into service start grumbling before they've seen their second battle. Once they've got to thinking how unfair all of it is, it doesn't take much for the heretics to turn their heads. From what I hear, the simple promise of freedom tends to do it. That may explain why Lady Iceheart was able to expand her following so swiftly. Sad to say, some of me mates gobbled down the heretics' tripe and got as for seconds. Told me they were off to the Western Highlands to light a signal fire. That's how you let the heretics know you're serious about joining their ranks, apparently. Send up some purple smoke and let the bastards come to you. And that's so. Aye then, I ain't minded to start a fire. We're here to lure our foes into position, and we must find a means of producing a single fire of purple hue. As it so happens, I once heard a tale of a trapper who dropped the hide of a woolly yak onto his campfire. Aside from the terrible stench, the story also described in detail that smoke from the smothered flames was tinged a deep violet. You're a hunter of some note, are you not, Lycus? Should prove a trifling task for you to procure a number of hides. We need to burn more than one ere the heretics notice a beacon. Master Alphino, you and I should gather wood for the fire. It will take the both of us to find enough dry fuel in this frozen iceland. Let us meet again at the Dreaming Dragon with the fruits of our labor. You know, if that was a WoW quest, you'd be doing both of those while the NPCs just sat in a camp. I ain't doing it. And it would be like gather 20 logs and gather like 10 of these furs. Have like a 70% chance to drop for no reason. Like just kill it and get it. And also these yaks are freaking huge. It would only realistically take 2. Maybe even 1 if you skinned it. If you skinned the whole thing. Noodle Durgan. Got its head. Looks like it. It would seem as collecting firewood is a new experience for Master Alpha. This must have been a privilege upbringing. Know the hide you need. Yes. I left fish guarding a fish of no purpose, and now here I am scrabbling for sticks in the snow. How could my hands be at once so numb yet so sore?
Ah, I should have known it would be you. Word reached me of a struggle with a small but well-armed band of trespassers. Forgive my comrades their hostility. Few come here uninvited, and fewer still with good intent. Now, tell me why you are here.
We wish to speak with you, honestly.
So, you seek to stem the Dravanian tide with talk? A romantic notion. If you but knew the truth, the spark which lit the flames of this animosity, you would understand the futility of your quest. Shall I relate it to you? The sordid history my gift has shown me. That which the Holy See has taken such pains to suppress.
By all means.
'Twas more than a millennium past when an Elezen tribe first sought to claim the lands of Kurthas as its home. Unfortunately for them, Kurthas was already home to dragonkind, and they were not inclined to make way for the invaders. Thus did a bloody war begin. A war which might well have rumbled on until one or the other side was exterminated, had it not been for the resolve of a single woman. That woman's name was Shiva. While those around her fought and died, she attempted to parley with the dragons, and in so doing discovered them to be possessed of profound intelligence and reason. The great worm, Hraesvelgar, in particular, so enchanted Shiva that she found herself growing to love the creature, whom her people considered a monster. In the eyes of a near-immortal dragon, however, the fleeting life of an Elezen is as that of a freshly cut rose. Scarce has the flower bloomed before it begins to fade and wither. Such melancholy musings plagued Hraesvelgar, who had found in Shiva an unexpected and beloved soulmate. He knew that all too soon, death would snatch her away from him. Unable to bear the thought of their separation, the maid bid the worm consume her, that their spirits might be entwined for eternity. Though loath to perform the deed, Hraesvelgar ultimately gave in to her plea, and soon thereafter the tale of their ill-fated love spread throughout the two warring factions. No more could they raise blade or claw against one another, knowing that the souls of their kin were so inextricably bound. In the days that followed, man and dragon learned to live in harmony, and together built a nation unlike any the world had ever known. For 200 years did this blissful age of peace continue, as it would to this day, had vilest envy not stirred in the hearts of the Elezen. It is said that worms owe their longevity to the boundless reserves of vitality found within their eyes. And 'twas in this belief that a traitorous band of knights deceived their allies of some 2 centuries, and took by force that which they coveted. Nidhogg. He who now stands poised to unleash his wormlings upon Ishgard was the great dragon who lost an eye to Elezen treachery. And until he prizes it from the hands of the traitor's progeny, no amount of conciliatory words will stay his fury.
You are wrong, Lady Iceheart. Lest you misunderstand, I do not doubt your vision of the past. 'Tis true that Nidhogg greatly desired to reclaim the Eye. Indeed, it was for that very reason that I kept it with me as I roamed the land, attempting to draw him away from the city.
Good gods!
Until recently, Nidhogg seemed unable to resist its allure and pursued me relentlessly. Needless to say, that is no longer the case. Now, it would seem, he has fixed his attention on Ishgard itself, though he knows full well the Eye does not reside there.
You believe he targets the capital for another reason?
I believe reason has all but left him. Through the Eye, I feel much of what Nidhogg feels, and the dragon's thirst for vengeance will not be quenched by aught less than a sea of blood.
If Nidhogg is indeed lost to reason, might we not seek an audience with Hraesvelgr instead? He has thus far shown no inclination to aid in the invasion of Ishgard, and may yet welcome our efforts to broker a peace.
You still believe that a peaceable solution can be found? Very well. I will take you to him. Our road will lead us to Dravania, the homeland of dragonkind. There we shall ascend unto the clouds, where Hraesvelgr resides.
Oh. A crystal reawakens.
Is aught amiss, my friend? I sense the many battles are beginning to take their toll. Rest a while, and should you lose sight of us, Dravania lies beyond the mountains to the west.
Curious. The vestiges of thy mistress's blessing are not as faint as once they were. Thy will to succeed grants thee unusual fortitude. But will it be enough?
You are Linkus, yes? Pray, address me as you sail, if you wish. 'Tis passing strange, is it not? If fate should bring us together thus. Never did I think to walk alongside the warrior of light. But history is full of such unexpected alliances. Shall we make our way into Dravania then? The chill of the Western Highlands is unrelenting, and I would sooner be under the sheltering canopy of the Chocobo Forest.
Beyond Abalathia's spine, the great mountain range that spans the continent of Aldenard from east to west. Into the deepening shadows of Som-Al, where lies the ancient home of dragonkind. To a land where the soil slithers and the skies seethe with sinuous shapes, they came.
Well, now I learn for later. Anyways, I think it's our. I think I'll take my first break for the day. Get up, stretch my legs, grab some water, all that good stuff. Advise you all folks out there to do the same. And don't go anywhere. Be right back. Hey folks, we back from break, and while I was away, sorry if I managed to pronounce your name, Karen Lionward. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Alright, let's turn that off. Let's get back to it. We now stand on the threshold of Dravania. The path to Psalm All will take us far to the west, beyond the embrace of the forest branches. It will be a long and demanding journey. Might I suggest we take our rest at the village up ahead and see that we are properly provisioned? There's a village here? I thought these lands to be the sole domain of dragonkind. Why would anyone choose to live in so perilous a place? The wild chocobos. Tailfeather was built by hunters who made their living capturing and selling the beasts. Their leader, Marshchamp, is an acquaintance of mine. Being a gregarious sort, he will no doubt welcome our arrival, and he will also possess more recent knowledge of the road we seek to travel. I trust there are no objections. Only to the ceaseless chatter. If we were to meet this acquaintance of yours, let us do it before Ishgard burns. Steady and be like, can we just shut up and get this over with? Finding sprouts again, yay. Well, take my hat and call me Leatherface. We have visitors. Oh, if it ain't lovely yourself. Been too long, girl. That it has, Marchomp. That it has. My companions and I are on a pilgrimage to Psalm All. Might we stay in Tailfeather a while and prepare for the next leg of our journey? Of course. Stay as long as you like. In fact, I wouldn't suggest leaving the forest at all. The dragons have been absolutely bleeding murderous of late. Forgive me, sir, but I'm not sure I understand. Do the dragons not bother you here in the forest? Bother us? Did your sail not explain things to you, boy? You've seen them towering Calum trees all about, haven't you? If you were flying above the canopy, you'd barely be able to see the ground. And as you'd expect, local wildlife's canny enough to stay hidden beneath the leaves, which is why the dragons do their hunting elsewhere. We can do ours in peace. I see. Thank you for the explanation. You're welcome. Now, I know it won't stop you sail here, but the dragons ain't the only things you'll need to keep an eye out, especially if you're setting heading west. That's so. I dare say you're wondering what could possibly be worse than dragons, eh? Well, I'll tell you. The bloody Nath. They're what you might get if you cross an antling with a megalo crab and taught the thing how to walk on two legs. They were straight far from their hives out of fear of the dragons, but they've gotten a lot more aggressive of late, sending out war parties for moms in all directions. Been taking their harassing the Dravanians in their own affairs, if you can believe it. When they venture into the forest, which is more and more, by the way, certainly ain't afraid to come after my lot. I can only imagine how much worse it'd be closer to Night territory. It would seem that much has changed in Dravania. The Nath were not wont to cause such strife when I lived here. You lived here, in Dravania? Aye, 'twas in the time following the calamity. My family was dead, my home was gone, and I had fled from the bitter cold into these lands. I knew not the paths of the forest then, and wandered out from under the protection of its boughs. That was when I chanced upon Hraesvelgr. He had descended from his mountain lair to hunt for food. My exhausted mind could not contend with the sight of the majestic worm, nor the vision of the past had his presence visited upon me. Thankfully, Marchant found my unconscious form at the edge of the trees and nursed me back to health. And in Tailfeather, I remained for some time. Hence your familiarity with the locals. But I interrupted you. You were saying these Nats were once a peaceful people. Peaceful would not be the most fitting description. They are a fiercely territorial tribe, and any who intrude upon their domain are attacked without hesitation or quarter. Outside the borders of their homeland, however, they were rarely hostile. Indeed, we were even able to trade with them on occasion. They have changed then. What of it? We have not the time to creep through the underbrush on some roundabout route. I say we make straight for Salmal and crush any unruly insect we meet underfoot. More direct path, then. Very well. Let us first follow the trail west out of the forest, and make for the statue of the Stained One. From there, we should have a fair view of the road that leads to Salmal. Shall we? I don't know how the hell you're going to see anything in dust storms, but yeah. Bug. Bug. Technically see things right now. Also, that fate's happening. So about 10 gauge. Should we chance to meet Marchant again, remind me to thank him. Had he not warned us to expect a Nath, I doubt I would be standing here. Amid ruins that I would tentatively describe as your guardian, the style, if not quite identical, betrays a definite resemblance. You have a scholar's eye, Master Alphino. The structure is, in fact, over 1,000 years old. It is a remnant of the age when our ancestors and dragonkind lived together in peace. You claim this is evidence of our harmonious past? I was taught that these buildings were constructed by heretics in honor of your Dravanian masters. This rubble inspires no such awe in me. Stubborn fool! How desperately you cling to these false teachings of your beloved Holy See! Enough, both of you! You threaten the success of our mission with this incessant squabbling. Linkus, pray reason with these two. Grunt. Alright, let's keep going. We're going to find out what happened in the past. I also have the Echo, and if something pops up, I'll be able to either confirm or deny what Ysayle says. Quite! Lest you forget, our goal is to prevent a war which will claim the lives of Dravanians and Ishgardians alike. If we are to accomplish this, you must learn to tolerate each other's presence. Trust in Lakis' gift. In time, the secrets of history will be brought to light. Let that be enough, Estinian. You would have you keep my counsel until Linkus' visions confirm the truth. Very well, but bait me not. Our meeting with Hraesvelga will likely provide the catalyst Lynx's gift requires, as it did mine. Let us press on. Wait until my plot device works. Then we go from there. Spy you the 3 gate towers to the west. Ishgardians know them as Annex Shrine. The place serves as a roost for Hraesvelga's lesser kind. If we are to reach the peak of Psalm All, then we must first beseech these dragons to open the way. But do not be disheartened. The one who leads them is a friend. Our rather more concern is the disposition of the Nath. Let us survey the approach to the towers and see if the path is clear. Lady, how the hell are you seeing anything right now? I don't know how you're seeing anything in this weather, but, you know. 'Tis as I feared. The road ahead is teeming with Noth's soldiers. Marsham did not exaggerate then. These beastmen have grown brazen indeed if they would have threatened the dragon so openly. They intend to assault the lair itself. I pray they do not. Mighty though my Dravanian friends are, they are yet vulnerable to the Nath's muskets. There is no route save the one before us. Should the beastmen offer battle, we have no choice but to accept. Boink. Boink. As much. At least we can only technically see the tower. I take no pleasure in killing the Nath. It was to avoid bloodshed that I agreed to join you on this journey. It cannot be helped. We may proceed into the courtyard together, but leave the task of hailing its occupants to me. And keep your lance on your back, Dragoon. On my word of the Warrior of Light, I shall start no fight, only finish it. You are truly beyond salvation. Come then. I ain't gonna start nothing, but if they do, I'ma finish it.
Vidofnir!
Ah, 'tis thee, little one. From above I did mistake thee for a Nath. 'Tis well I chanced to look again, or thou wouldst now be ash.
Dear Vidofnir, how I have missed you. Would that I had come sooner, and not out of dire necessity.
Thou art troubled. Speak that I might know thy plight.
We're on a quest. The scene.
Thou wouldst have father admonish his brood brother.
I would end this war without further bloodshed.
How am I to believe thee, little one, when thine own companion beareth Nidhogg's stolen eye?
Have care, dragon, or I shall gouge out one of yours.
You forget yourself, sir. We are here on a mission of peace.
My sires will forbiddeth me from inviting discord to our home. 'Tis for this reason and no other that thou still drawest breath, knight.
Vidofnir, please. We must be allowed to convey our intentions to Hraesvelgar in person, with words of our own choosing. Grant us this favor, and open the way to Som Al.
Thou hast ever been welcome, little one. But I cannot grant thy wish. I am bound to remain here and protect my kin from the Nath's god.
A primal, you say?
The Nath have summoned a primal.
That's her in.
Pray excuse my forwardness, but if we were to eliminate the threat to your territory, would you consent to Lady Izel's request?
Ha! Dost thou imagine thyself equal to the task? To succeed where dragons have failed? 'Tis beyond thee, mortal. But thou art welcome to try, nonetheless. Only know that idle promises shall avail thee naught.
It would seem we have no choice but to make good on Alphino's offer. Why must our every bid for peace breed yet more war?
So, the Nath have summoned their god, and thus is the mystery of their newfound belligerence laid to rest. Are you not glad, Lady Iceheart? I thought you would applaud them for summoning a primal that further ends. After all, you did. I did not reach out to Saint Shiva to further mine own ends. I desired her strength only to forge anew the peace between man and dragon. But what a fool I am to speak of peace to you, a bloodthirsty savage who murders without thought or compunction. Enough! Enough, I say! If the Nath have truly brought forth their deity from the ether, we must face it together, or watch our hopes fall apart. All now rests upon this primal's defeat. But ere we think of comforting it, we must first study its origins. What is the nature of this god? What manner of faith sustains its existence? My apologies. You are right, of course. Let us return to Tailfeather and consult with Marchamp. He knows more of the Nath and their culture than the most. Hey, yay, we can see everything. can actually see the zone. We can see the tower. We can see the top of the mountain. See the Nath's headquarters. And see where their beast tribe is. Oh, back already, are we? Met the Nath, did you? And what is it you'd like to... Well, want to know what sustains our god. Something to primal, you say? 7 hells. Well, I don't know bugger all about Nath religion, if I'm honest. Beyond their trading habits, there never seemed much point in asking. It shouldn't be that hard to find out. From time to time, we barter with a small hive to the north and west of here. Outcasts from the main tribe, from what I understand. I reckon they'd be willing to tell you a bit about themselves, give them the right incentives. That sounds promising. What exactly would a Nath consider to be the right incentives? Oh, none your average hunter couldn't scrounge up in a day or two. But seeing as you're in a hurry, you might want to divide the chores amongst yourselves. Want a good-sized jar of land-trapped nectar, a basket of calam tree fruit, and, always a Nath favorite, a generous portion of young Naka flesh. I shall gather the fruit. Leaping to the lower branches of these forest giants should present little challenge to me. And I shall collect the nectar, with Master Alphinode's arcane assistance. And it leaves you to bring home the meat. You'll need to carve it from the smaller Nakas that live in the rivers. 3 big hunks should be enough, I reckon. Once you got everything together, you'll need to set it down at what we call the trading post. Here, I'll mark the spot on your map for you. You have been most kind, Master Marchand. Well then, let us attend to our respective tasks, and reconvene at the trading post. I need hardly add that the last one there is a rotten Naga egg. Damn it, Alphino. You just had to make the joke, didn't you? Level 54 at least. You go, buddy. I was able to gather a goodly amount of nectar from the land traps. I would not have known how to harvest it without your sales help. You have the Naka meat? Yes, I do. Splendid. I shall put this with Estinian's fruit and assemble a suitably generous-looking hamper for the Nath. Well, everything appears to be in order. Assuming no one has any objections to my choice of presentation, I shall place our offerings at the trading post, as instructed. Were I of the Nath, I would think I would be suitably impressed. Just put it in a bag. Well, how long must we wait? Should we have sounded a signal or some such? Calm yourself, Master Alphino. Our offering has not gone unnoticed. Long has it been since hunters last came to trade, bearing gifts that filled the air with such delightful scents. Landtrap nectar, calam tree fruit, and Naka flesh! What delectable food you have brought for us. Our meager existence is much enriched by your bounty. Come, hunters. Come to our hive if you would trade. Cramped and stifling our homes are, but the rancid incense keep the dragons at bay. Cramped, stifling, and horribly smelly. I bet it'll live its stench to be cracked and crushed by dragon claws, yes? Come, cousin, it is not far. A presence has been announced to the storyteller. You must speak for our chosen leader. You must speak to our chosen leader in words. For we are Vath. We are the no-mind. Non-mind. Welcome to our hive, hunters. You have brought delicacies, much sought after by our people. We are much pleased. What would you have in return? Honored elder, pray allow me to begin by thanking you for welcoming us into your home and for accepting our humble offerings. My companions and I are come in search of knowledge, specifically, knowledge of your people's god. Knowledge alone? What strange hunters you are. But if it's words you desire, then words you shall have. We are the Vath, the non-mind, and speak as our fate. You will hear the tale of the Nath's god, of the god the One Mind summoned into our midst. The One Mind? These are the Nath who reside in the main colony. Yes, they are one, connected. But let us begin the story at its beginning. Some moons ago, a single dragon flew in from the east, bleeding and weak. It fell from the sky and into the hive, where it was sworn by my brethren. And with spear and spell and musket, the dragon was slain. 'Twas likely the one that fled the battle with my kinsman. I should commend you for finishing the job. Dragons are fierce and terrible adversaries. The One Mind would always cower when the winged shadow passes over the ground, but no longer. He learned that a battle-weary Dravanian was easy prey. Thus then the One Mind decided to heed the words of the Black Robe men. The One Mind would call forth our god and unleash his blades upon the dragons. Dravanian lands should become Nathlands, and even larger would grow our domain. But our god ever hungers. The price he demands in crystals far exceeds the rewards for this war. We of the Vath despise and revile his insatiable existence. I shall call upon the power of a primal for the greater good, conscious all the while that I do so at a grave cost to the land. I reason that it is a necessary evil, and willingly shoulder the burden of my sin. In suggesting that such crimes can be justified, you may argue that I presume too much, but you must surely see that I am aware of the magnitude of my transgressions. Not so the Nath. They summon their deity for no greater purpose than to expand their dominion. To a scion of the Seventh Dawn, once sworn to eliminate the primal threat, the distinction you draw seems questionable at best. But the fact remains that my own grandfather risked unleashing the power of the 12 in an attempt to prevent the calamity. Thus, while I may not condone your actions, I at least understand them. Not so the Nath, as you rightfully put it. If they seek naught but territorial gain, I can only conclude that they are ignorant of the ruinous consequences of their god's insatiable appetite. The longer this primal is suffered to exist, the greater the suffering it will cause. It must be destroyed. How lightly you propose the destruction of this god, Master Alphino, a being of whom we know not. Does it occur to you that we may be sending the Warrior of Light to his death? No, you have the right of it, Estinian. It would seem it is I who am guilty of presuming too much. Pray forgive me, Linkus. Bro, I'm not afraid. Wait, Lycus need not face this foe alone. Like him, I am blessed with the Echo's protection, and may do battle without fear of primal influence. Let me bear this burden. Okay. Ha! You truly imagine yourself a second warrior of light. Remind me, how many primals have you faced, my lady? Not that it matters. We know not where this god resides or how to challenge it, unless you mean to pray until it appears. Stydia makes a valid point. I'll speak with the Vath and learn how best to secure an audience with their deity. In this, at least, I may be of some assistance. Young lord certainly appears eager to prove his worth. Oh, excuse me. We are Vath. We are the non-mind. We do not hear the one-mind's thoughts. We cannot predict their will. Put this idea from your mind, generous hunters. You would meet with our god, and he will have your souls. Surely you are not so generous as that. You wish to meet a god? Offer yourself as a sacrifice. You will soon be brought before him. We will mourn the loss of such generous hunters, however. You're generous hunters, yes? Many gifts you have brought, but not enough for all that to enjoy. You can bring us just one more. We're very fond of Naka flesh. Yes, the meat of a young Naka would make a fine repast. Can you go kill another Naka? Nanka, rather. Wink. I've been saying Naka, not Nanka. Whoops. That do it to her, Nanka flesh. Have you been out hunting it? Another gift for the Vath, so unexpected. Yes, you'll have more of these words you strange hunters hunger for. Listen now. The senses of the one mind are enmeshed by the one overmind. What one sees, all see. What one feels, all feel. Alert a single Nath, and a whole hive is alerted. To reach a god undetected is all but impossible. The Vath all want to allude to a certain concepts without explanation. I believe I am beginning to grasp a few of their fundamentals. From what I understand, this king-like overmind sits at the center of Nath society, and its presence somehow allows its subjects to communicate without need of word or gesture. These Nath, the ones who inhabit the larger hive, are known as the One Mind, and it was by their combined will that the primal was summoned. Those who reside in the smaller hive, however, are the Vath, or the non-mind, who, for reasons that yet escape me, seem to have been excluded from the telepathic bond which connects their Nath counterparts. Thus are the Vath ignorant of the One Mind's thought and intentions, and of the nature of their own god. In summary, we have wasted our time. Not so. Perilous though it may be, the Vath did furnish us with one certain method of approaching the primal, as sacrifices. Should we allow ourselves to be captured in the environs of the colony, the Nath would bring us before their deity to make an offering of our souls. Forgive me, but let us be clear about what it is you propose. You mean to say that you would deliberately provoke the Nath, surrender yourselves into what might generously be termed their custody, and then wait until their god arrives to claim your soul? Aye, that very well describes my plan. You will join me in this endeavor, will you not, Lycus? Judging by the great risk you took to prevent the summoning of Saint Shiva, you are not a man to err on the side of caution. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, that I could fight at your side, Warrior of Light, but the power of the dragon has no protection against primal influence. Forgive me, but I must remain here with Master Alphino. Then it is settled. Linkus, you and I shall challenge the gods at the entrance to the colony. Once the hive is roused, we shall feign a brief show of resistance, then allow them to take us prisoner. Stidian calling out Alphino like, hey, just because he's done this before, don't assume he can keep doing it. Like, hey, wait until he actually does it before you declare victory, yeah? Intruders! Your lives are forfeit! Oh, you're close enough. The Overmind must by now be aware of our intrusion. Let us press on into the hive and ensure that we have our host's undivided attention. For this. That should be sufficient. If we did not have our host's full attention before, we must surely have it now. Our audience with the primal may be granted soon after our capture. Pray advise me once you have steeled your mind for the battle to come. Oh, we ready. You all prepared then? Hold here, Linkus. When the nights come, we offer no resistance. Surrender, intruders! There is no escape! Enough! We surrender. We throw ourselves upon the mercy of your God. Seem eager to proceed. Good. When they take us before the Lord, pray leave matters to me. If what I know of summoning rituals holds true, I shall be well placed to act. I like the sound of the river rushing through the ravine behind us. Pressing loud, is it not? I imagine the noise could serve to unmask our escape should we need to withdraw temporarily. But you are prepared, are you not? I do hope so. If I were to be dragged away for sacrifice while you were haggling over the price of potions, I should not be amused.
Now we have but to wait.
O Lord Ravana, master of the sacred blades, wrath of the colony, conqueror of the world, hear our prayer. Pray grant unto your devoted children the gift of your divine presence.
He comes.
Ninja Punk.
All strength to the colony. Speak and I shall listen.
Oh, glorious General, we have captured intruders and would make unto you an offering of their life's blood.
These feeble fleshlings dared to invade Natlands.
Hear me, Lord Ravana. My companion and I did not come to contest your children's territory. We wished only to learn the reason you wage war against the dragons.
Thou wouldst flirt with death merely to satisfy thy curiosity. Wherefore should the glorious conquests of the Nath concern thee so, Elezen? Ah, mayhap thine own kind struggle against the worms fareth poorly, and thou art desirous of a pact.
We crave no alliance, Lord Ravana. Only peace. We would bring an end to our war with the dragons. Yet so long as they remain embroiled in this conflict with your children, our goal shall remain out of reach. Never before have the Nath risen up in such numbers, and never yet with you at their head. Why do you lead them to war?
Thy question hath no meaning. To live is but to fight. Long have my children waited, gathering their strength in the shadow of thy ceaseless conflict. The North would see the Dravanians slain, and their territory secured. And by such fervent prayers am I now given form and purpose.
As I feared, your very existence is an obstacle to our goal. Since you are so fond of fighting, we challenge you, Lord of the Nath. And should we emerge the victors, I would have you swear to withdraw your soldiers from Dravanian soil.
Thou art bold indeed to risk thy fleshy hide so readily. Very well. I, Ravana, fourfold master of the blade, do accept thy challenge. But should I emerge the victor, I would have thee swear to serve in mine army till thy last breath is spent. Do you accept?
I do. And I believe the first bout is mine.
What is this? A god clad in flesh?
Is aught amiss, my lord? Thou wilt not break thy word, I trust.
Mine oath is unbending as steel, little goddess. Thy ruse will but add to mine enjoyment.
I thought myself stronger. Mayhap with more crystals?
Be thou god or maid, thou art nothing to me. And what of thee, mortal? Art thou warrior or craven? A warrior, then? Mayhap thou will provide more sport than thy feeble companion.
Bug beat lady. Who would have thought Bug is super effective against ice, yeah. So for Thok, best Thok. Which I believe I can solo. I solo EX, well, not like normal's that much harder. Or normal is, you know what I mean. In Ents, the Thok asked Thok. An insectoid beast tribe connected by a hive mind, the Nath have but one collective desire, to expand their territory and prosper without fear of dragons. It was by this simple yet powerful wish that a mighty primal bent on war and conquest was summoned into existence. Bound by your promise to Vidofnir to remove this threat to dragonkind, you must now meet your companions in a battle against a savage entity known as Ravana, Lord of the Hive. Instances are still having issues today.
Thus does the sacred rite of combat proclaim the victor. I lay my blades at thy feet, child of man.
Did it. That's incredibly easy compared to EX. What the? But, I mean, obviously, but, you know. I didn't expect him to just fall over. Excuse me.
You do not disappoint, warrior of light. Would that I had your skill in battle. I do begin to see why so many place their faith in you.
I'm curious how you got stabbed in the gut and you're still walking.
For all his savagery, I do not think Ravana one to break his word. Provided the dragons do not trespass upon Nath lands, They should have little to fear of the Primal's biting blades. We have done well, have we not? Come, let us return to Vidofnir and share these glad tidings.
Once more you achieve the impossible, bringer of light. But with every mortal heart that succumbs to fear and fury, another voice is joined to the chorus, beseeching divine succor. At their bidding, warring gods will shake the firmament, and your world will be consumed in the swelling storm of chaos.
Never since we first fought have I seen you drawn upon the full extent of your power, and never from afar till this day. You are a marvel to behold, Lycus. Well, 'tis time to rejoin our companions. They will be eager to hear the tale, and to continue our journey. I think we'll go and fly back and take another break for the day. 'Cause I need to refresh my water and do a bunch of other things. Well, not really a bunch, but yeah. Land here, park the bird, take another break. Stand up, stretch my legs, get some water, all that good stuff. Implore all you in chat, do the same thing. Be back in a couple minutes, folks. Don't go anywhere. See you soon. The hell is that camera angle? Hi folks, we back. Sorry about that. Bit of an extended break there. Had to do a few things around the house. I probably should wait until I'm done streaming to do instead of taking like a 15-minute break. But here we are. Alright. Hey Alfie, we killed the bug. He goes squish. Linkus, lady you sail. Thank the 12. Bug's dead. Lord Ravana, you say? How curious that the Vath never mentioned his name. You are quite certain he will keep his word? There was honor beneath his savagery. That we survived the encounter was a miracle. A miracle we must attribute to Linkus. I never doubted you were of late, unlike some. You're gone so long, Master Alphinaud here, and I lost his wits with worry. Fretting like a maid for her sweetheart he was. Estinian? Was that truly necessary? Not truly necessary, but certainly true. What matters is that the primal is banished and our promise fulfilled. We should return to Vidofnir without delay. Lest you forget, this was but a means to secure an audience with the worm Hraesvelgr. Nidhogg's minions will not be halted by idle chatter. Come now. We must make every moment count. You are unkind, Estinian. For all of his experience and intellect, Alphinaud is still but a boy. Yeah, it's true. He's still like a teenager. Shall we be on our way to Annex Trine then? I would not have the dragons think that we have forgotten our bargain. Not yet, your next expansion. This weather means anything. I don't remember ever seeing this. Thou art returned, little one. Hast thou abandoned thine ill-conceived contest with the Nath? Nay, my friend, we return in triumph. By Linkus's hand was the beastman's god, Lord Ravana, laid low. In his overconfidence, the primal swore to withdraw his followers from your lands in the event of his defeat, a promise we believe he will keep. The Nath shall trouble you no longer. The deity is slain, then. How didst thou contend with his biting blades? The peculiars matter not. Thou hast fulfilled thy purpose, and I shall fulfill mine. Attend me, mortals. Hie you to the deepest reaches of Morn, and there you shall find Halo, the altar from which you may begin your ascent to the summit of Sam-Al. Be fairly warned. The minions of Nidhogg shall not rightly suffer your presence on that sacred mount. By your struggles within the cavern shall I judge your party possessed of sufficient fortitude to proceed. We shall not disappoint you, Vidofnir. If memory serves, the Cavern of Morn is entered from the second floor of the central tower. Let us begin the climb. One sec. I think this weather means a rare spawn is up? Question mark. See if anybody reported it. I don't think anybody has. Nope, doesn't look like it. Should say something in one of the hunt shells. This way. Last time, maybe over here, over here. Back over. Let's see. Yep. Say that. Big girl. Thanks, folks. Alright, back to MSQ. And a lookout spot. And now we go back to good old dust storm, so we can't see a damn thing. Hey, you have dust storms in a cave. Come on. Not this far deep. You'd have a dust storm. Unless somehow the winds were howling in here, and I don't see an opening large enough to allow that to happen. Well done, little one. As promised, I shall open the way to Som Al's summit for thee and thy companions. So, we're judged worthy because I flew over everything, didn't have to fight anything, and landed at the quest marker. Heed me now, children of mine. The domain you seek to enter hath not seen visitors of your kind in nigh on 1,000 years. Though I freely grant you passage, your presence will not be welcomed. To my kin, this mountain is revered as holy ground and resting place both. Wear you the minions of Nidhogg during your ascent, for 'tis certain they shall take great offense at your intrusion. We are grateful for your warnings, gentle Vidofnir. My final words are for thee, Dragoon. Have care to keep the stolen power thou wieldest in check, yet it breed further despair. Estinian? The way is open. Let us not tarry here. A moment. Shall we blindly forge on, knowing the dangers that await us? Tiamat herself is said to guard this peak. I do not fear Nidhogg's consort. Any dragon foolish enough to bar our path shall feel the sting of my lance. Spoken like a true butcher. Need I remind you that we are come to parley of peace? Let us be clear, heretic. 'Twas to save Ishgard and her people that I first lent my support to this doubtful venture, and 'tis for their sake that I go now to speak with Hraesvelgr. But I said nothing of Tiamat. Should the opportunity present itself to rid my people of one of their deadliest enemies, I shall take it. That is my duty as Azure Dragoon. You are beyond redemption. We will accomplish nothing by bickering. If we are to meet with Hraesvelgr, our paths lead up the mountain. We shall defend ourselves if attacked, but avoid conflict wherever possible. What other choice do we have? I mean, he's right. If they attack us, we'll defend ourselves, but other than that. Let's see, Ghetto Dungeons. Funny enough, the first MSQ dungeon, this one is a side quest, and you can completely miss it. But I think it's almost mandatory because there is a flight aether current behind it. So, Som Al, casting its shadow over the Dravanian forelands, this towering peak is revered by the dragons as both holy ground and resting place, rather, not praise. And now, in accordance with your pact, Vidolfnir has thrown open to you the final ascent to the sacred Mount's summit. But Nidhogg's minions will not lightly suffer this intrusion. Ere you gaze upon the fabled expanse of the churning mists, you must first carve a path through the mountain's denizens and overcome the consort of Nidhogg herself, the she-dragon, Tioman. Oh, damn it. We just cleared that like 2 days ago. What's it throwing up again? First off, this dies. Secondly, die. Hell no. I ain't dealing with that mechanic. third one? Come on. Straight up despawn because I killed it. Oh yeah, I forgot to open the chest back here. Whoops. I didn't kill it. Of course I would fall off too. There it is. One of the few times we do not react. And a second crystal awakens. I guess. Yeah, I'm good. Twould seem Tiamat was the last. I sense no other dragons nearby. What is happening? Nidhogg, he roars. He knows we are here then. His fury bleeds through the eye. Fear not, I am yet my own master. That damned warden's wrath burns hotter than flame. Come, the heart of the dragon's homeland yet lies before us. Thus do we add another link to the chain of vengeance. O Saint Shiva, when will it end?
To the peak of Som Al, at the end of a perilous mountain path, whence could be seen a string of pearl-like islands floating impossibly atop a sea of clouds. To a domain where dragons and men had once lived in harmony, whose majesty no mortal eye had glimpsed for nigh on 1,000 years. They came.
My favorite part. Not the background stuff, but what's immediately to our right. We have reached it at last. The peak of Som Al. 'Tis said to be the highest mountain in all of Eorzea, you know. I thought it cold in Kurthus, but the air here carries the chill of a dozen winters. Yeah, we are like, what, a couple miles above the ground, at least. Now that we have scaled the mountain, there remains the problem of finding Hraesvelgr himself. I hate Moogles. What manner of creature is that? Damn Moogles. Minkus, do my eyes deceive me, or is that a Moogle? Yeah, that was a Moogle. It was my understanding that they dwelled within the Trollswood. I certainly never expected to see one in a churning mist. If the Moogle does live here, however, he may know where Hraesvelgr makes his lair. Quickly now, before we lose the creature completely. Moogles. Bah, he's gone. Linkus, we must widen our search. sense concealing magics, huh? I have heard tales of these Moogles, but this is the first time I ever laid eyes on one. Rather adorable, aren't they? No! What? Why do you stare at me so? Can I not find a creature adorable? My heart is not truly made of ice. No. Moogles are evil. They're not Lalafell evil, but they're still evil. I see no evidence of this Moogle of yours. Are you certain it wasn't a trick of the light? Perhaps 'twas simply one of these strange plants shifting in the breeze. More concealing magic. I'm sure I glimpsed the Moogle fleeing in this direction. Could he be concealing himself with magic? Since 2 instances of that, so yes. Confound it! Could we but enlist the aid of one of the local Moogles, I'm certain Hraesvelgr would not elude us for long. Though the eye enables me to sense the presence of dragons, I can only identify Nidhogg's with any certainty. We could wander the mist for days and not know if we were any closer to his brood brother. And those are days we cannot well afford to squander. Shall we divide our forces then? Lady Ysayle, might I ask you to question any dragons whom you judge it safe to approach? I shall try, yet I fear the influence of Nidhogg's rage will render most of the Dravanians in this area deaf to reason. And what of you, Master Alphinaud? I have not yet given up on the Moogles. Linkus, come with me to Gridania. I mean to petition the aid of the Moogles kin in the Trollswood. After that business with Mogglemog, I dare say they will be glad to help us. Assuming you have no need of me, I shall remain here. Nidhogg senses both the loss of his consort and the coming of the Eye, and his attention is firmly fixed in this direction. I'm going to do what I can to hold his gaze in the hope that it might delay any action against Ishgard. Thank you, Histinian. Come then, Linkus, let us make haste for Gridania and rendezvous at Nofisca's altar. But I neglected to tell you. There's an aetheryte of ancient construction here which will make the return journey rather less arduous. Pray do not forget to use it. Like how there's 2 instances of people telling you, hey, attune to the aetheryte, dummy. As I myself check to make sure I'm attuned because I hate the Moogles. I sent word to the Elder Seedseer upon arriving in Gridania, and I am pleased to report that she has agreed to grant us an audience. If anyone can help us to contact the Trollswood Moogles, it is she. We are expected at the Lotus Stand. I trust you are familiar with the Conjurer station at its entrance. Yep. Who, I found out was female last time. The Elder Seedseer awaits you. Pray follow me. Listen, it's the hat I can't see. I bid you welcome, friends. The Admiral spoke of having met with you, but 'tis no less of a relief to see you safe and hale with mine own eyes. We humbly thank you for agreeing to receive us upon such short notice, my lady, and for all you have done for us in our absence. Would that it were solely to express our gratitude that we came to you this day. Alas, the tides of battle yet dictate our comings and goings. Elder Seedseer, we would beg your wisdom in a manner that may finally bring an end to the Dragonsong War. Speak on, friend. Well, we saw a Moogle. We need the Moogle's help. Reluctantly. I see. So you seek a means to contact these Moogles of the Churning Mists. Kupo, I say, Kupo. Greetings, Kupo Cop. To what do we owe the pleasure of your company? I was struck by the sudden urge to bring you some fruit, Connie, and I'm jolly glad I did. Tell me more about these Moogles in the sky, Kupo. I will gladly tell you all I know, though it amounts to precious little. We encountered a Moogle high in the clouds of Dravania, and I'd hoped you and your kin in the Trollswood might agree to facilitate a meeting. Pray correct me if I'm mistaken, Kuplo, but there are legends, are there not, which speak of Moogles who dwelled beyond the clouds. Indeed there are, Kupo. Long, long ago, back when the world was still young, they say my ancestors served the gods up in the heavens. Of course, that was before their masters took to bickering like spoiled children. Ah yes, the tale of good King Moggle Mog XII. He was revered for holding fast to a rope of miraculous length, that his subjects might climb down from the sky and escape to the world below. Ignoring the more fanciful aspects of the tale, it may well be that Kuplo's ancestors hailed from the Churning Mists. Given how long his kin have resided in the Trollswood, it is perfectly possible that details of their history have faded into myth. Indeed, Master Alphino, such stories oft contain a measure of truth. 'Tis like that the Moogles of the Churning Mist tell similar tales of the world below. You can well imagine why the one you encountered fled at your approach. Oh, fleeing's second nature to us. We often hide when larger races come trampling through the forest. Of course, where there's one Moogle, there's bound to be more. Which is why I've decided to take a trip to the clouds, Kupo. You surely won't be afraid to talk to me. I was hoping you might say that, Master Kuplo. You will accompany us then? Just you try and stop me, Kupo. I admit the thought of venturing outside the Trollswood is a bit unsettling, but I can hardly refuse a chance to meet my distant cousins. If you will have me, I too will accompany you on this venture, and lend my voice to your cause as an ambassador of Gridania. wait, what? My lady, are you quite certain? How oft has our nation turned to the Scions of the Seventh Dawn in its hour of need? How oft have we asked the Warrior of Light to risk his life to save our own? Full many times, I say to you, and never have they refused us. Thus do I choose this day to offer mine aid to our allies for the good of the realm. Is this not just? A most unexpected and most welcome offer, Elder Seedseer. We should be honored by your presence. Well, I guess we're going. Pray return to the summit and inform our companions of these developments. I will serve as the Elder Seedseer guides on the journey back to Sam'al. It being a path I have already trodden, do not anticipate any great difficulties. Besides, I shall have the Elder Seedseer's personal guard to escort us. It's gonna be a minute with her RP walking that slowly. Well met, warrior of light. Nidhogg has not stirred, but he watches us, unblinking. Hey, we'll be a minute, waiting on Alpha Node to come back. Till the Seedseer herself answers your call, there is naught to do but wait. And wait we shall. They are here, Linkus. Greetings, my friends. I am happy to report that our journey was mercifully uneventful, devoid as the road was of Duranians. It would seem the dragons have abandoned Sam'al for the turning mists. Elder Seedseer, may I present to you Sir Estinian, Ishgard's Azure Dragoon. 'Tis an honor to meet you, Sir Estinian. I have heard many tales of your order's extraordinary skill and courage. Friends, I feel it only right to inform you that we are not alone. The Mughals are all around us even as we speak, and I should imagine they are more than a little concerned by the horde of strangers that have descended upon their home. Mayhap now would be an opportune moment to introduce ourselves. This should serve. They're hiding, of course. There are so many of them, Koopa. I am Kan-E Senna. My companions and I have braved the long road from the Twelveswood to share words with you. On this, the occasion of our first meeting, we bring an offering of light and wind. Ooh, such a gentle and pleasing glow, Koopo. I am Moglin, the chieftain of this Moogle clan. Chieftain Moglin, it is an honor to meet you. Greetings, I am Kupo Kop, ambassador of the Twelveswood Moogles. A Moogle from the world below. Their hide is of a different hue, but that palm is unmistakable. Might need a moment here, Kupo. My companions were no less surprised to learn of your existence here amongst the clouds. I hope they did not startle you overmuch in their eagerness to make your acquaintance. Full well can I imagine your weariness. I am told that men have not walked here in nigh on 1,000 winters. Mayhap you will forgive them their forwardness when I unfold to you the grave matter which first brought them into your midst. My companions crave an audience with the great worm Hraesvelgr, that they might negotiate an end to the war twixt man and dragon. An end to the war, you say? I trust you, Kan-E Senna. The light of peace shines brightly within your soul. But I'm afraid the same cannot be said of your friends. To be plain, we did not hide ourselves because they were the first of your kind to be seen here in 1,000 years. No, not only because of that. We hid because we smelled dragon blood. Skies are home to many, many dragons. Now some crave peace, such as Racefelger. Many others crave the opposite, such as Nidhogg. Suffice it to say, we were worried that the presence of your blood-spattered warrior friends will attract the attention of the nastier kind and invite destruction into our happy home. Just a moment, Chieftain. Linkus here may have doled out the odd thrashing or two, but it's always been for a really good reason. He is a champion of the 12-1 Muggles, and I'll not hear his good name slandered. Now, Ambassador, let's not ruffle each other's fur. I shall, of course, take your testimony into consideration. If I may, Chieftain, there is little room for trust twixt strangers. Might we not take this opportunity to learn more of each other? An excellent suggestion, Kupo. In the interest of fostering friendship and keeping an eye on you, I extend to you the hospitality of Mogholm. Prove yourselves worthy of our assistance, and it will be yours. I shall be watching, Kupo. Tell me, in a world down below, do all your kind look so different from one another? It must be terribly disconcerting. What was it Kuplakov called you again? Human? Oh, Linkus. Linkus? Your names are as odd as your appearance. Have you ever considered a nice Moogle name? Moglin is taken, by the way, Kupo. As are Moghan, Mogmug, and Mogwin, being the names of the three wise Moogles who will administer the monumentous challenges that I have devised to measure your worth. I call them the trials of trustworthiness. Undertake these trials, and we shall soon see whether or not you are worthy of our aid. Hello. Yes, I am Mogin, the foremost alchemist of Mogholm, if you must know. If your tummy's goopy or your wings are droopy, I have a potion to fix that. Or I would if I didn't keep running out of ingredients. Luckily, you're here to do my chore. Trial! Yes! Go forth, mighty adventurer, and mightily pluck 3 springs of cloud's breath for me. You'll find it blooming near the entrance to Ilai Tom. It's not the safest of places, so don't let yourself be distracted by the pretty flowers, Kupo. I have to do them one at a time, are you serious? Boo. Again, Moogles. That's why I hate them. This is normal weather here. I don't think that indicates any sort of like big bad. Be quite funny if we did though. We'd make 2 in a day. Well, technically 3. Archaeo Titania spawned, but jumped into Songwall, so rip that. Do you have any trouble finding Clodsbeth? I do need it rather quite urgently, you know. These are perfect, Kupo. I have the main ingredient for my palm tonic. Speaking of which, how are you feeling, sir? Should you ever feel your palm losing its bounce, then I'm your Moogle, Kupo. She's infatuated with a Moogle. Hmm? Yes, you have the pleasure of speaking with Mogmug. I know. I'm the fluffiest, most enchanting creature you have ever laid eyes upon, Koopa. It isn't easy being this adorable. I can barely take a stroll outside without these relentless Dravanians throwing themselves at me. They look as if they might just gobble me up. In any case, fleeing their overbearing adultation is growing a bit tiresome. Your trial, sir, is this. Find the ardent Archaeosaurs, slap some menace into them, Kupo. Perhaps a firm smack on the snout will teach them to appreciate my charm from afar. Let me accept your quests all at once. Stupid Moogles and your PS3 limitations. Excuse me. For both my burps and these Moogle quests. You're able to humble my Dravanian devotees. Wonderful. You're as capable as I am captivating, Koopa. Still, my precious perfection does not excuse those louts for pursuing me so mercilessly, tongues lolling and bellies rumbling. The Dravanians of their ilk have much to learn about acceptable acts of admiration, rather. Mogwin's the name, and not just my game. When it comes to painting, there are none in Mogholm which can match my talent with a brush. Well, I know why you have come. Chieftain Moglin has demanded I test your worthiness. But as I trust no one to create art that will satisfy me, I instead charge you with retrieving a masterpiece I seem to have misplaced. It was ambitious and innovative work, guaranteed to fetch at least 4 Koopo nuts on the open market. You must find it. Question the masses. Surely a pebble painted in such vibrant color and unmistakable panache cannot have escaped the notice of every Moogle amalgam. Moglin is missing his masterpiece, Koopa. You mean that paint-smeared mess of a pebble? I have not seen it recently, a fact for which my eyes are profoundly grateful. Moogles. I don't know much about this stone, but I know Moglin's been creeping out the back way to Psalm All Summit from time to time, Koopa. Maybe you left it up there. Mr. Moglin's has placed his masterpiece, Koopa? Oh, happy day! If I am the swister of finding it, I will soon have a genuine Moglin for the price of a little perspiration. Honestly, who has 4 Koopa nuts just lying about to spend on such luxuries? What did you find out, Koopa? You probably dropped it somewhere. Yes, now you mention it, I do seem to recall leaving my pebble out in the sun to dry. And the second part of your trial commences. Go, Ledger. He retrieves my masterpiece before some art-starved admirer swipes the stone for himself. I don't really want to. And besides, it's literally up here. You can't just fly up here and get it yourself. There it is. Do you have it, Kupo? Is my masterpiece safe? Yes, this is my work. Is it not exquisite? I call it Contemplations of Zenith. Thank you, sir. At last I can exchange my art for those delicate Kupo nuts. Chieftain Moglin will hear this valorous deed. Here we go, Moogle. I guess, if that is what you insist on calling yourself, you have completed the trials of trustworthiness, administered by the taskmasters Mogin, Mogmug, and Mogwin. During these grueling tests of character, I closely observe your conduct, as well as that of your companions. And I decided, Kupo. Gather your friends before me now, so that I need not repeat myself needlessly. Bugle's ready. These trials over then, my tasks have been little more than household chores. If our hosts elect not to grant their aid after working us like pack chocobos, I shall demand compensation and Kupo notes out of principle. I hope it will not come to that. Let's hear the chieftain's verdict, shall we? How go your trials, warrior of light? I myself have been sent on a number of expeditions to chastise the local dragon population, and that their chieftain wished to avoid inflaming the Dravanians. Such contradictions aside, our host seems entranced by the height of my leap, and compared me to Mog, a lance-wielding Moogle warrior of Eld who also favored such attacks. It was meant as a compliment, I expect, as I doubt these furry lumps could outleap a cockerel lamb, much less a dragoon. Conclude your business here swiftly, Linkus. I like not this place. Me and you both. Standing here in Mogholm, my thoughts turn inevitably to the legend of good King Mogglmog XII and his seat in the heavens. Like most, I thought it no more than a myth, a story for younglings that grew with the telling. But with every passing moment, I become more certain that we have discovered the origin of the tale. Full eager am I to hear what the chieftain has to say. We've become such friends, Kupo. My Moogle cousins love to sing and dance as much as I do. Well, Chieftain Moglin has finally come to a decision, has he? Well, I suppose I better flutter over there and see him then. What sorcery is this? My heart should stir at mere fluffiness. Hey, snap out of it. I guess I was... No matter, what is it? Chieftain Moglin has made his decision. Well, let's not keep him waiting then. Never have I been seen such determined workers, Kupo. It would have taken us moons to complete all those dreary tours and niggling errands. and I'll have our labors proven the purity of our intentions, chieftain. Without a doubt. In fact, there was never really all that much doubt to begin with. You were, after all, already friends with a fellow Moogle. But you see, before any meeting with Hraesvelgr could take place, certain preparations need to be made. And what better way to help you pass the time by having you perform all the tiresome tasks no one ever wants to do, Kupo? Oh dear. The horn! Bring out the horn! Quickly now! Blow on this wondrous instrument whenever we wish to speak with the Great Worm, Kupo. We haven't perhaps been treating it with the care it deserves of late. I think Morgan may have sat on it. So we need some time for cleaning and polishing and straightening. No lasting harm done, though. Now, you need simply head to Zenith, the worm's dwelling to the west, and give the horn a good toot. We are in your debt, chieftain. Thanks to your noble gift, we shall finally have a chance to plead our case to Hraesvelgr. Very possibly, yes. But I wouldn't get my hopes up too high, Kupo. The old worm isn't terribly fond of, Our concern is appreciated, but I am quite certain that Hraesvelgr will welcome our overtures. Should we ever arrive at his lair? Come, we've squandered enough time already. Stydian's like, get me the hell out of here. And I kind of agree. Chieftain Moglin, we thank you for your generous hospitality. Then we must soon take our leave. I pray that we may continue to nurture the shoots of this new-sprung friendship twixt earth and sky. Of course, Kupo. Visit us whenever you wish. Consider Mogholm your home amongst the clouds. Can I pun him yet? Oh, right here. Thanks for the help, Kupo. I doubt I would ever have found time for all those rotten chores. Hey, it wasn't my idea. The chieftain had spent a little less time sitting about and a little more time chieftaining, so it would never have gotten so messy in the first place. And he was the one who sat on the horn, by the way. But how all the errands are done and the horn is fixed, so all's well that does well, eh, Kupo? Well, I expect you're eager to be on your way. Did I mention your friend was looking for you, Kupo? If not, Alphinaud is looking for you. I'll be waiting just outside, stretching my wings. Let me know when you're ready to depart. To the best of my knowledge, we have all that we need for a trip to Zenith. And I believe the Elder Seedseer and her retinue will soon be making a journey back to Gridania. It would be remiss of us, I think, not to convey our gratitude to them prior to going our separate ways. Shall we? Alphinaud, Linkus, I do humbly thank you for what has been a most enlightening experience. Were it not for your pioneering spirit, the existence of these Moogles might never have been revealed to us. 'Tis we who should be thankful, Elder Seedseer. Were it not for your timely diplomacy, they would never have chosen to reveal themselves at all. And 'twas your presence, Kuplokop, that ultimately won us their trust. It must have taken great courage to leave the sanctuary of Trollswood, and we are exceedingly glad that you did. It was my pleasure, Kupo. I've made so many new friends, and I have so many fantastic tales to tell my kinsmoogles back home. And it is to our home that we must now return. May you ever walk in the light of the crystal, my friends. Okay, bye. Thanks for help. Safe journey, Elder Seedseer. We too must be on our way. Hraesvelgr awaits. Warrior of Light, pray attend closely to your companion, Sir Estinian. Beneath that stoical facade, a storm of anguish seized with unseen. Yeah. You said your goodbyes and dabbed away your tears, Kupo, and we are indeed ready to go. As Chieftain Moglin already explained, the shiny instrument we gave you is the best means of grabbing Hraesvelgr's attention. I'll come along and show you the way to Zenith. It's the big place where you need to blow the horn. First things first, though. We need to make for Asa. Oh, and watch out for rampaging dragons. Maybe that should have been the first thing, Kupo. What is this? 54? Almost halfway, roughly, through 3.0. Nice. Oh. Right, dragons. Still this weather. Things are a bit bitey for a while there. I think we've arrived at our own peace, Kupo. I wonder what has the dragons so awfully snappy. I mean, the bad ones are always bad, but they seem worse than usual. We may have a small problem, Kupo. When the winds are high like this, Hraesvelgr invariably abandons his lofty perch and heads for the lands below to hunt. If you tried blowing the horn now, I doubt he'd hear it. I suggest we stop at the clearing up ahead and rest until the wind dies down. This should do nicely, Kupo. The winds will likely have died down by tomorrow, but until then, we might as well make ourselves comfortable. If we must interrupt our journey so close to its end, I suppose this is a place as good as any. We may have a brief respite from the hardships of the road will help to clear our minds in readiness for the coming parley. Very well then, I believe a campfire is in order. Leave the gathering of fuel to me. I've acquired a keen nose for firewood during my time in the frozen wastes of Kurthus. Clear our minds? Does Master Alpha know whose minds need clearing? Thought of meeting a great worm in the flesh has befuddled the boy. You see him stroll away as if these ruins were not crawling with deadly beasts. Follow him, Linkus, and make sure that the wildlife does not make a meal of our young friend. We will have the camp ready by the time you return. I see I was right to worry about the boy's safety. Once Alphino returns with the wood, we can see about supper. The Ice Queen has filled a pot with what look like stew ingredients ready for the fire. Few things compare to the simple pleasure of sitting beside a crackling campfire of one's own making. Ha! So speaks the great explorer. Until recently, you wouldn't have recognized firewood if it came with kindling and a flint. 'Tis well you instructed me so patiently, then. But yes, left to my own devices, I would have been compelled to signal to your sail with a pile of damp leaves. I was born the pampered son of a Charlian dignitary, and, alongside my twin, became the youngest student ever to be accepted into the studium. How proud I was to match wits with scholars and philosophers. How ignorant of mine own shortcomings. That hubris invited manipulation and betrayal, and led to the downfall of the Scions. We all of us are guilty of similar ignorance. How many men lay down their lives never knowing what it is they fight for, never questioning that which they have been taught to believe. 'Twas only upon meeting Hreisfelger that I learned the truth hidden within our history. Were it not for that chance encounter, I would never have vowed to tear down the Holy See and expunge the falsehoods with which it fans the flames of conflict. I would have lived and died in ignorance. That the truth has driven me to do terrible things I cannot deny. But I would rather sin in the pursuit of peace than imagine myself virtuous for perpetuating a needless war. If this journey has taught me anything, it is the importance and difficulty of holding to one's convictions in the face of failure, of striving always to replace one's ignorance with knowledge. You are well on your way, Master Alphino. At your age, I was but a fool swinging a spear with scarcely a thought in my head. Even now, I struggle to acknowledge the misconceptions under which I have labored. Sitting here, amongst these grand ruins, how can I deny that man and dragon once lived in peace? But for all that such an age existed, we are now in a time of war. Nidhogg killed my family, and no quirk of history will exonerate him. I may be ignorant of how the Dragon Song War began, but if we do not put an end to this conflict now, I can say for a certainty that it will only breed more vengeful souls such as mine. I thought that was Alphino talking. In my hands resides the power to vanquish a great worm. If Ishgard's survival rests on me wielding that power, I will slay Nidhogg myself. Orders or no. Estinian, you gave your word. My word is contingent upon the success of our parley. Show me the strength of your convictions, Lady Iceheart. Convince Hreisfelger of the righteousness of your cause. Doubt not But that I shall, Dragoon. Well, when's willing, we shall have our answers on the morrow. Let us sleep now, and face our fate with the rising of the sun. Campfire was so cozy. I must have fallen asleep, Kupo. But do you feel how the winds have shifted? No. They will have borne Vreisvogr back to the skies above Zenith. I'm sure of it. This is your chance to climb to the highest floor of the palace and summon him with a toot of that shiny horn. So I'll be heading back now. If it's all the same to you. Good luck, Kupo. It's nice knowing you. I think that's a good stopping point for the night. And most likely tomorrow, I don't really see any issue. We shall continue on. Tomorrow around 5:30 p.m. Eastern, we'll go on, meet Vreisvogr, and see what happens after that. Which we know, but yeah. Let's see if anyone's... Yes, I think one Marisa Emma has completed Coils and is also going through Heaven's Ward for her very first playthrough, so she's a sprout. So we're gonna go send a love her way, shall we? Folks, again, thank you so much for hanging out. Really means a lot. And I hope to see you folks tomorrow around 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Alright, folks. Have a good night. Have a good rest of your night, day, wherever you are. Grab something to eat, grab something to drink like I'm about to do. Stay safe out there. Hopefully see you tomorrow. Have a good one.